The EMP addresses grid and off-grid extension and off-grid.
Your screen has disappeared.
Like that. Yes, just like that. The internet connection is unstable, sorry.
And now we have the second climate change. The object is to plot the energies.
Which are already completed. Energy refurbishment of 4 health centers in Lesotho. Proposal prepared. Something's not right here. Sorry again for the interruption. Okay, we have proposals prepared and approved by Joint Committee in December 2018. Consultants will be engaged to prepare a bankable project. Now the next project is Lesotho Renewable Energy and Electricity Access Pilot. Then the next project is a 70 megawatt solar power plant at Haramaruthule in Mafeteng. The project is financed by Chinese and Lesotho governments, implemented in 2 phases, 30 megawatts and 40 megawatts. Staff recruitment is ongoing, public sensitization of community leaders and verification of landowners ongoing. Then the next project is development of cornerstone public policies and institutional capacities to accelerate sustainable energy for all. The project expected outputs are development of cornerstone C4All policies and strategies to facilitate investment in renewable energy-based mini-grids. The country action agenda investment prospectus is already in place and awaiting approval. Regulatory framework also is in place, but is still ongoing. Based on energy data collection and monitoring for C4All. Household energy consumption survey report to be produced before end of 2020 and 2021. Sector energy consumption survey is at an advanced stage. There are only 2 sectors left. Again, we have village-based energization schemes. Under this output, we have concession and grant agreements for mini-grids, for 8 mini-grids and 7 energy centers that are already signed. Introduce developers to communities of the project size. There's also an outreach program and dissemination of results. Public awareness, food taxes branding, roadshows, social media, as well as radio and television programs. Then we have other RE projects. And under this, we have a 20 megawatt solar power plant, PPA to be finalized with LEC, and implementation agreement is also ongoing with DOE. Then the Soul Train project, currently sourcing funds for project implementation. Makebe mini grid construction is ongoing. Integration study is also ongoing. Solar street lighting in Mapoteng to be installed. it's a 1.5 kilometers solar street lighting. Then the non-RE projects, we have a strategic fuel reserve facility with its feasibility study ongoing. Now we come to an end of today's presentation. Thank you.
Mate Milling, you just touched them like the so if you could go back and then we move slowly and then you tell us more about each of the projects and what they entail.
Okay, Daddy, thank you.
Okay. Dominic, I don't know if you want to talk before we go through the slides again.
Well, I mean, I'm just out of curiosity on slide 2 or 3 or 4 at the beginning, at least, it was shown that the primary energy used in Lesotho is, in fact, not electricity. It's anything but electricity. And my question is just why most of the projects that the Department of Energy is launching or has launched in the past are focused around electricity, and why they're not focused around the actual need, the actual energy need of the people.
DOE want to respond? Anybody from DOE?
Okay, Daddy Mpulu.
I mean, we can also go to that slide again at the beginning and just take a look what the share of electricity is in terms of energy, and we will see that thermal energy is still the biggest part that is needed. Whether the thermal energy is being produced by coal, wood, any other biomass, or yeah. So why is most money spent in electricity if electricity is not the biggest problem?
Okay, can someone bail me out here?
As Palasa, one of the two.
Okay, let me start. Fortunately, I don't know, my signal on this side is also not very good. So I didn't actually hear the whole presentation, if ever it's actually complete. But if I understood well, the question was, how come that the department is spending a lot of money on electricity while the majority of the people are actually using biomass? Is it the question that Mpulu?
No, it's not necessarily money. Dominica is asking why the majority of the projects are all towards electricity and not thermal yet.
But thermally, while we know that thermal energy is the main energy.
Yeah, and even according to the slide, which is
everybody needs. Yeah, even according to the slide that was shown.
Okay, that is it. Oh, my goodness. I don't know what's happening in my office today, but apparently my signal is not good, or it's Equanet, I'm not so sure. Yes, the truth is we actually, the country, or the majority of the people are in need of thermal energy, and the thermal energy in relation to biomass, if I can say. But you know, if ever you actually look at the C4All goals, we all need to be energized through modern energies and so forth. So what we want to do since we need all Basotho to be connected to electricity at one point before, in fact, that was supposed to be before 2030. That is why presently we are actually now concentrating on electrifying the villages here in Lesotho. We aren't saying that there's no need for thermal energy, but our concentration is in relation to electricity because that is the form of energy that everyone needs.
I'd like to disagree. 7%, your slide shows it, 7% of the primary energy need is electricity, 7%. That means 93% is something else. So why is the money spent into that 7%? Even if every Basotho household were connected to the grid, nobody could afford, or not many people could afford the kilowatt hour price in order to heat the house or cook something. You could charge your phone, yes. You could use an LED lamp, yes. But people are not in need of that. That can also be achieved by a small solar panel that you can give to the people for a lot less money. So the question is, why is all that money being put in very expensive grids when the people are not going to use large numbers of kilowatt hours in order to make it viable?
I actually hope that I also heard what you were saying. You are actually looking at the pie chart, wherever it's saying that the majority of the people are actually using biomass instead of electricity, which is only 7%. You know, this is the consumption pie chart. It says that when we went out there, maybe gathered the information, we found out that the majority of the people are only using 7% of electricity, because then if ever you can look at this is a 2014 pie chart. It's just unfortunate that we haven't yet, we have just gone through, or we have just done the household energy consumption study. We're supposed to have used the pie chart for the 2018 study that we have just underwent. It's no longer, I think it's no longer 7%, but it's a bit higher because now electricity is accessible. You can't consume something that you don't.
Okay, I understand that. But my question is,
Dominica and Tate, maybe I would like to come in.
I can also come in.
Yeah. I think I'm the one sharing. May I be allowed to chat, please? Tate, Mabea, and Dominic. I think Dominic is basically asking, is basically saying people need clean energy. I mean, he's not disputing that. So the question is, the fact that people need clean energy, is electricity provision the best solution for the people? I mean, that's where this question is going. Is sustainable solution to the people. That.
Hello. Can I chip in here?
Hey, Andad.
Hello. Hey, Andad. I think the country or the department is moving towards addressing all the energy needs of a country. I'm saying this because completed an electrification master plan, which gives a roadmap as to how are we going to go about providing clean energy sources to Basotho in the next 20 years. And in that plan, all forms of energy, including the very thermal that Dominic is talking about, are taken care of. So I think now we are not only focusing on electricity, but we are also shifting to other forms like the provision of efficient energy cook stoves and all the solar lanterns and the stuff. We have the different tiers within the document that clearly stipulates the best possible solution for particular cluster of people. So I think we are a bit diverse now. We are not only focusing on electricity.
Yes, but you're talking about the plan, not the projects that we discussed. So if the plan has a multiple of resources that it's going to address, so how come the bulk of the projects now are primarily electricity? So not all.
No, here okay. Let me say here it was just the background of what has been the prevailing situation. So this is how we have been doing, and then moving forward, we are trying our level best to address this gap.
Okay, so
So,
keep your
Great,
fingers
thank you.
crossed.
Then we're looking forward to seeing thermal-related projects and not just electricity-related projects. Thank you.
yeah, and on top of that one, we also have the Soul Train project that we reiterated that we are currently sourcing funds for the implementation of that project. Is also on the thermal part. So I think in a way we are a bit trying to balance the equation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Nadempolo. It's not a question, but it's just a request that the mayor can share with us the solar, hydro, and wind resource map if they are completed. I didn't get it quite well whether she said they are in development or they are already available. So if they are already completed, can she please share them with you, maybe so that we can get access to them just for learning purposes? Thank you, Ned.
Sure. So are the resource maps available, DOE? And can we get them?
Yeah.
We can get them.
Okay.
Yeah, the resource maps in Nadempolo are available in hard copy for now, but we are planning to upload them on such that we can be able to get even soft copies in the near future. For now, if ever you are looking at for the maps, you can get them in hard copy now.
Okay. I'm just
Thank you.
how you got them to hard copy because you needed to print them. So you must have a soft copy somewhere.
And Nadempolo, what is available for now is the hard copy.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Okay.
My question is, how did you get the hard
You will
copy?
get the soft copy.
Anyway,
Nadempolo?
that's
Nadempolo? Can I chip in?
yes.
Yes, we do currently have the hard copies for both those maps, the hydro, the solar, and the wind. However, the soft copies are present at the department. However, we are still working on our system such that we can be able to give the stakeholders the rights to have access to the maps. So that process is still ongoing. However, don't get too frustrated.
I have a solution. I'm asking because I have a solution.
Be able to access Daddy?
I have a solution.
Daddy,
I have a
yes,
solution.
Daddy.
We have our
Please come up with a solution.
we have our ERC site, which is on the cloud, and we can put those maps there and everybody can access them.
I have to consult within the department. Yeah, I know that we have the database management unit somewhere where it was agreed that such data should be housed within the department, and then it can be shared to the external stakeholders through giving them rights. So
But
I'm not sure if it's possible.
With all due respect, this is the data that you want it to be public to everybody. So it doesn't really matter where it's sitting. So if you really want to share this data, that's what I'm saying. we can offer you that solution. The reason why I'm reiterating on this issue is because it's extremely hard
Answer that.
data from DOE and other places. I mean, this is through experience that it's extremely hard to get data. So this is why I'm saying, is there a problem with us housing that data and then people can access it in the meantime while you are sorting your database issues?
Okay, I know. I think that will be. We will not conclude it now. Let's look within ourselves. Then we'll see how we go about that. Karema
That
Mungaga.
is a hand. And that what I can say that temple, the data belongs to the planning division of the department, and unfortunately today they were still busy, so we will talk to them and see. We know that they were doing something in order to make the data available as a soft copy, but for now we still have those hard copies. We'll talk to them and we'll revert back to you if ever we can be able to offer your assistance, if you can help us in order to make sure that the data is available for everyone as a soft copy.
Okay.
We'll talk to them that.
Okay, any other questions before we go through the slides? So if you could do a slideshow like you had, and then we can move slowly slide by slide. Yeah, so if you could go to the next slide. So the reason I'm doing this, I'm expecting all the stakeholders in here, if they have questions on particular slides, to raise the questions so that we address the questions per slide as we move along. So are there any issues with this slide except provision of data? I don't see hands up, so may we move to the next? So development of isolated mini grids, how many and what amount of power and how much money, how long is this project and who's going to be involved? How can we be involved?
Thank you, Ndatimpulu. I was actually talking on my own here. I forgot to unmute myself. This is the Lesotho Renewable Energy and Energy Access project. Here we are going to develop a number of mini grids. We haven't yet agreed that we will be developing 2, 3 or so. But during the desktop study that they have done, it was found that there is a possibility of having about 38 mini grids here in Lesotho, but they are not going to develop 38. Depending on we only have, I can't exactly say on top of my head, but the amount of money that we have for mini grids is about if I'm not wrong, unfortunately, I don't have that the project document in front of me, but it should be to a tune of about 8 million malut, if I'm not mistaken. So what is going to happen here is we are going to develop triple P mini grids. That means we expect, or we are planning to for the developers, or to shift the risk of developing mini grids to the developers. So that I cannot exactly say we will be then developing maybe 8 mini grids or so, but there's a possibility of developing between 6 and 8 mini grids using with this project. All of them are going to be triple P mini grids. Thank you.
So that means the department, triple P means what? Means the department gives a certain portion of this money towards the project and the developer comes up with the rest or something.
Yes, that is how it's going to happen. Even though what's going to happen is the government will then be saying to the developer, I want you to go and develop a mini grid probably at Mahobo, whereby a developer will source his own maybe funds, and then at a later stage, maybe after 20 or 25 years, the developer will then transfer his assets to the government at a certain fee.
When is this project supposed to start and end?
The project has started. The project has started. For now, they have started with the grid extension to economical zones, and the first one that they are dealing with is the Belo economical zone in Butabote. But as that is happening, we are also we want to start with the mini grids. The first thing that they have done now is maybe to help the department in completing the regulations. We want to complete the regulations as soon as possible. So that is where we are. We are actually starting and then maybe finalizing the regulations. They have done something a lot in that regard.
And when does it end?
Oh, sorry, I forgot about that. This is it's a 7-year project. All in all, it's a 7-year project encompassing grid extension, mini grids, and Simongong mini hydro station. It's all 7 years.
Okay. Questions from the floor? The TMC.
On that, I did not get it right when you talk about this mini grids. Is the department going to contribute, say like 50 or something? I mean, in terms of money, I just heard saying that it's going to be owned by the private sector for like 25 years, then it will be shifted to the community thereafter. I didn't get it exactly on what he's saying. What is the contribution towards the construction of the project? Is the government paying the
Hello.
department? Yes.
Hello, Narema.
Hello.
Narembur, can I chip in here a bit? Under the project, there is a technical support that does give technical support to the department with regard to the best delivery model that will be used in implementing these mini grids. So what I can say now is we are currently working on the best possible delivery model, triple P delivery model that will be used. Here we know that the the principles behind this triple P things is just to shift the risk where it will definitely be best managed. So we are still trying to finalize those things and see which portion will be taken by the government and which part will be best managed by the private developers. So I just wanted to highlight that the delivery model and which portions will be taken by the government and which ones by the private sector. We are still working on that issue. Thank you very much.
Any more questions, comments on this slide?
The economical zones other than Botabuti, Belo, do you have any other ones?
On that,
just out of interest, apart from Habelo.
It's just unfortunate. There are other regions. We have Kacha, we have Mahalisuk, we have Mohotlong. It's actually 6 economic zones. There is something like Tigwe extension or something of that kind.
Okay.
We have also there's one in Mafeking. Unfortunately, I don't have the project document in front of me. But
no, that's fine. I think my main interest was with the Tachasnega one. Are we going to do the cross border or are we going to extend from Ampit? The grid extension.
I cannot exactly say how we'll do it, but presently we have a project that way we have submitted to PSIC, whereby we want to connect Kacha with Masinot via the 132 kV line. We have that with the PSIC now, and so I think it might maybe be through our own network, not necessarily via Matatiela one.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, anyways, if my figures are right, I think the mini grid you have about 14.5 million, isn't it? USD. Anyway, that's I was just it's not
for this project.
No, anyway, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I just guessing. I think it's 14.15 million.
That would be too high.
Okay.
Okay. Remember that the project is to a tune of about 52 million, and the bulk of that actually goes to the extension of a grid, the industrial zones, together with the villages surrounding those areas.
Okay. Okay. Now.
That theme, us being an academic institution, I'm trying to figure out how we can fit into this project. And one of the things that we could feature in is probably to do a socioeconomic impact, where we do a baseline study now in the village that are going to be connected, and then we see later how. So the baseline study will primarily be comprehensive, where we check energy consumption now, education, health, economic activities, whatever in those villages, and then we come back later when the project has been implemented and see how these things have changed because of the availability of the mini grid. So I'm just thinking, would we be incorporated or collaborate with the Department of Energy to do some of this more like academic technical analysis? Is that part of the thinking behind the project or not?
I think that that would be very much ideal, even though now since we were actually in a hurry to complete the Bello one, we did it ourselves, that one. But with regard to the other zones, I think that that kind of a collaboration should be necessary. So we will then raise that issue with the project coordinator and see if ever that we can work around that issue, how we can work around that issue.
Dominica, were you saying something? Maybe not. May we go to the next slide, please? So information about this one in terms of time frames. So this has started. It has been financed. So it's already being implemented. Are there time frames? When is it supposed to be completed? And how much does this cost?
I thought that I had my colleagues would be answering this, but what has happened is the first phase was supposed to have started now, but unfortunately, due to COVID-19, we will be starting at a later time once everything is in place. The 30 megawatt, I'm trying to remember how much it actually costs. But what I can say is the overall, the 70 megawatts all in all, I think it cost around 135 million. The 70 megawatt. I can't exactly remember how much is the 30 megawatt on its own, but the 70, the complete project, is about 135 million USDs.
And who?
We are actually, the fact that we are expecting it to be completed in the next 18 months once it gets started, or once we start.
So by staff recruitment, what do you mean? You are looking for a contractor, or what type of staff are you recruiting?
What is going to happen with regard to this one? We'll need engineers who will be manning the plant itself. So what will happen is we are going to, they will be sent to China for training, such that when, in fact, this was supposed to have happened a long time ago, such that when we start with the construction of the plant, they are part of that and from scratch. But unfortunately, that couldn't happen. So they will be going to training in phases. If ever you have maybe 10 engineers, 3 will go for training in China, while the other ones will still be here during construction of the plant, such that they know exactly what is happening. I'm not so sure if ever the staff recruitment was in relation to this, but I think that is what my colleagues meant.
I know with the staff recruitment. Hello. I'm staff recruitment. The technical staff will come at a later stage. But what is currently happening, I've seen that if they can look at newspapers, they are currently recruiting the administration staff now. So apparently the recruitment process has started. That's what we're trying to reiterate here. Thank you very much.
So this project is managed outside Department of Energy. I just want to understand. So the recruitment now is the project team or something, which would be housed.
We have what is called Lesotho Electricity Generation Company. So that company is going to manage the generation projects in the country. So what is happening is the recruitment process is ongoing through the LECO.
Okay.
Colleagues, I actually
But Temabe disappeared.
I disappeared. I don't know what the internet is actually doing. But what I was saying is we now have a Lesotho Electrician Company, which will be the one so what is happening now? Actually recruiting staff. You might have seen in newspaper a lot of people are now be the one that will be the Aramaro power plant. That is what my colleague.
So I'm just trying to understand this. So even all these other electricity projects that DOE is talking about here will be managed under that company, or it's only this one?
No, we are only talking about the generation projects. All generation projects will be managed by this company.
So the mini grids will go under that company.
Only generation.
Actually, the mini grids generate power too.
Not necessarily. No. Yes, they do generate also at the same time distribute the power. So those ones will be managed by new REA at that time. They're going to be by the company. Those ones will by REA, Rural Electrification.
Your internet is really.
Maybe we also that in the near future.
Tikwe, your hand was up at some stage.
Thank you, Nadine.
Tikwe, please go ahead.
Thank you, Nadine Polo. Partly you have asked my question. I wanted somewhat clarity on the staff recruitment. In the presentation earlier, it was mentioned this will be through, the implementation will be through the triple Ps, in which for a period of about 25 years or so, the plant will be under their management. So now I'm getting confused whether this recruitment, how is it gonna come in relation to the 25-year period that was announced earlier? That is the first question. The second question is the Ramaro to the 20 megawatt, looking at the quantums that will be injected into the grid. What is the status of the PPAs with regarding that power that will be produced there? the third question, earlier at the same site, Ramarutul, there was a mention of, not in this project, but earlier, I just want the department to give me clarity. There was one developer who was earmarked to develop the 20 megawatt project. But in the presentation, it didn't come at all. So has it fallen off or is it delayed? Can they give clarity on that one? I submit, Chair.
That tema there, on that Shahani, that tema there, your internet, maybe you should sit within that Shahani.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything that Naretigo was saying apart from the last part of it, of the question. I'll go and sit with them, probably.
That Shahani, could you try and address?
Maybe that Shahani will.
And I didn't really get these questions correctly, but I know that we have talked about the 20 megawatt solar power generation project, the one for One Power. I know under other RE projects, I'm sure it's there. So
Still
that
going
one is
ahead. So,
covered there.
so the issue is it's going ahead.
Yeah, we are still finalizing the PPA and the implementation agreement for that one. So it's, the processes are ongoing.
So the 70 megawatts, so you...
The negotiations are still ongoing. Hello, Nare?
The PPA for the 70 megawatts?
Nare Lamin, do you have any idea? This one. Yeah, this one, this R70 PPA. I am not sure about that one. That Mabea will talk about that one. I'm not sure how far is the PPA.
Okay.
For 70 megawatt.
So that Tetuko also asked about the staff recruitment, whether it has anything to do with LECO, and so what's going to happen with the triple P because it runs over 25 years. So these people are going to be there for 25 years. I think that was his question. So the staff recruitment, is it for LECO? So that's for the 70 megawatts. So it has nothing to do with the triple P from for the mini grids, right? Or is it one and the same thing?
I think somewhere I confused the issue.
Yeah. I think we actually mentioned that the generation company is the one that is doing recruitment. And as the case, when we talk about the triple P mini grids, we said that they have nothing to do with that. The mini grids will be dealt via the Rural Energy Agency, which is the new baby that will be, or that will have. As we talk about still being dealt here at the department REU. So that stuff which is being routed there is for the generation panel, but it's the first project 90 megawatts. It's just the first project that is project that will be with that to they are not going to make array. I'm not sure if ever I managed to now.
Yeah, the problem is you are still cutting, so it's hard to hear you, but I think basically you're saying the mini grids fall under REU, REA, and then the 70 megawatts falls under LECO. So there are two different things. May we have the slides shared again? They disappeared. Are you happy?
No, it's fine. We can proceed in that.
Okay.
Thanks.
May we have the slides, that Shahan? May we have the slides so that we move forward?
And I'm trying to reconnect. Apparently, the network has just failed. But because the reason why I'm still available is because I'm using my cell phone now. So the slides, we are sharing them through the computer, which uses the departmental network. So the network here is not so good. So I'm trying to reconnect and see what happens. Yeah, I want that. They allow.
So at the time, while Department of Energy is reconnecting, if people have any other questions, please let's keep asking them so that they can respond to them while they reconnect the slides. And Shahan, if you could email me the slides, then I could share them this side.
Okay, I think that is better. Let me just do that right now.
You have my email address, right?
Yeah, it has to be here. We have been communicating for quite some time now.
Sure.
Let me see. Find that info again. No slides. Okay. It's on the way now.
Right.
Should be there within.
Tokolosia DOEB.
It's coming, that is coming.
I just got the email, so
I
I'll
don't
download it.
You got I'm sure you got the email by now.
Yeah, it's here.
You have that. All right. Thank you very much. Please share the presentation. It's been troubling us for quite some time.
I believe you can all see my screen now. So, Meg Millen, development of cornerstone public policies and institutional capacities to accelerate sustainable energy for all. Anything you want to add on here? Any questions, comments on this slide from the floor? No? Date Madea and Date Shahani. When is this the C for All project ending? And the 8 mini grids, were they not supposed to be 10? I see concession and grant agreements for 8 mini grids and 7 energy centers signed. The mini grids, were they not supposed to be 10? And when is this project beginning and ending?
Dadempolo, I'm still struggling with my internet here. So the project is supposed to end next year around this time or in December. But we have actually asked for extension, which was actually agreed, but it has not yet been done in writing. We are going to get an extension to the project. We asked for 1.5 year extension.
Okay. So when is the first mini?
So I'm actually sorry, Ndatimpulu. I heard that we were talking about the first something. I gather maybe you were talking about it, maybe first, that is.
Mini grids.
Okay. No, what we have just done recently is we have kickstarted this mini grid thing, but we are aware that when we first talked to the developers, they had given us the implementation plan that once they start the production of the mini grid itself, it will not take 6 months. But what is happening now is, for now, they are sorting, or they are trying to get the land rights for the places where we have granted them concessions. They are getting the land rights. They are doing the EIAs, and it's only after that that they will be sorting the licenses for those mini grids. So in short, I'm hoping that if things work according to plan, we were supposed to be seeing at least the first mini grid operational within a year.
Okay. Questions, comments from the floor? Then I'll move on. What's this Salt Train project about, and what size is it?
Can I ask Ndate Taele to respond on our behalf? He might even be in a better knowledge than we are here. If he's still part of the team here now.
No, I'm sorry. I just what was the question?
The Salt Train project. What is it about, and what size is it, and when is it supposed to start?
Sorry, the phase 4, is it phase 4, is it?
It just says Salt Train currently sourcing funds for project implementation. So that's why I'm asking, what is this project and what is it about?
Okay, I don't know.
That we can't hear that detail, but what is happening here? The Salt Train project is a project whereby in fact, when it first came to Lesotho, it's a couple of years back. It's being implemented, or here in Lesotho, it's being implemented by Bethel. So last year or early this year, SAGRI came to us and said that the project is about maybe having solar water heaters. It was originally in institutions here in Lesotho, whereby an institution was supposed to pay 50% of the money. But when it comes to the actual households, the households were supposed to pay 100% of the money for construction of a solar water heater. But then SAGRI, which is our regional body, then said that maybe we actually need to source. This was actually funded by the Austrian government. But then the SAGRI said maybe we need to source funds such that we can fast track this project. So that is where my colleagues were saying that now we have a concept to our development partners whereby we are asking for some grants in order to fast track this project, which is about having solar water heaters, mostly at institutions here in Lesotho. I think I might have answered you that day.
Okay, that
Thank you very much, Ndadempolo. I would like you to go to the previous slide, please. I'm sorry that I let you pass it.
Sure.
This one. I would apologize if I missed some points when the presenter was talking about the institutional capacities on the acceleration of renewable energy for all, and also on the issue of public policies. So my question is, which institutions are we referring to apart from Department of Energy that has been capacitated? And the second question is on the public policies. I would like just to know briefly about the progress on the current energy policy, whether they are referring to the alterations on the energy policy, the current energy policy. Thank you very much.
Ndadempolo, I actually. Oh.
No, that's okay. Go ahead. That
I was saying maybe I didn't get the second question. But with regard to the first one, yes, most of the capacity building has happened to the Department of Energy, but we have actually invited stakeholders for training. For instance, I remember that if I'm not mistaken, it should be towards the end of last year or early this year, whereby any stakeholders were invited for a training on project abracing. That actually happened. I wasn't part of that, but I think that people were invited for that training, the energy stakeholders. Apart from that, we are also working with the local communities. So people from the district council secretaries have also been empowered when it comes to the energy issues. We have also provided training for the PSC, the project steering committee of that, which comprises of people from different departments. So really, there is some sort of capacity building that we have done for other people apart from the ones in the department of energy. My colleagues will help me with regard to the second question, since I actually didn't hear it properly.
I can rephrase it, Nadempolo, if need be.
Yes, please.
They are talking about the development of cornerstone public policies as one of the strategies to accelerate sustainable energy for all. So my question was regarding the 2015 energy policy advancement into some issues in relation to energy needs. The question is, are there some development which have been made concerning the current policy, or are they just making the different policy that is concerned with per se the public or the communities in relation to energy? Or is it, yes, my question is actually basically on the 2015 policy that we have, the developments on it. Is it about it or not? I'm not sure if now it's clear enough.
I think I now heard what you were saying that day, Muleko. This, we were not necessarily talking about our energy policy. What we were saying is there are a number of instruments that, or those that were needed in order to accelerate SE for all progress. For instance, there was a mention of a country action agenda, which was some kind of a framework that the AU said every country should have that. Apart from that, it's the very same project that also assisted the department in developing the regulatory framework from which we actually extracted our mini grid regulations from. With regard to our energy policy, there's a bit of work that we are doing, but it has nothing to do with the project itself. We are now trying to legislate our policy in a form of an act. We are now working on an act because we have been sitting with that as a policy instrument without having an act itself. So we are now working on the act to operationalize the policy, our energy policy.
I don't know, Nadempolo, if you can allow me, because now there has come a new issue on institutionalized.
We are already overrunning, so may we be a question, and you can note it in the chat room, and that Made and his team can find the chat room. So in the time and your team, please look at the question in the chat room. In the meantime, let's
thank you, Nadem.
Anyway. This is non-renewable, so I guess I don't know if there are people interested in non-renewable in here. Any last questions, comments from the floor for the DOE?
For me, Ntate Mpolo, I actually have nothing apart from apologizing about our connection today. I really don't know. Normally, we get connected well. We don't have issues. But today, we're having some problems. I don't know what actually happened. So I apologize because we actually, even those things that we were trying to explain, you couldn't actually hear because of our bad connection. So apologies for that.
My apologies accepted. The tema there. Technology always lets you down when you really need it. So that's the universal law of nature. So that's one. My request to DOE is that us as an energy research center we want to engage you on this presentation and see the way forward as to how exactly we can take part in some of these projects and really have a way forward. And with regard to the soft copies, my offer still stands. So I would say, let's talk as soon as possible and see a way forward. With that, I would say, that in the meeting, for your participation. I hope you gained a lot of valuable information out of this presentation. Alevo. The
Thank you,
the question in the chat.